Hello everyone, welcome to the first kind of episode of Davinci Resolve tutorials. Today we're going to be covering the UI and how to just get started, how to create a project, how to import footage and everything like that. Very simple, very easy, but a good starting point. And if you've never kind of worked with an editing program before, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, we'll get you through it and we'll get you importing some footage like a pro. So as you load up the program, you're going to get this nice Davinci Resolve thing, at least I do. I'm using Davinci Resolve 16, so that's what I'm using. You get this nice little like loading screen and everything. The pictures always change. This is a picture of a guy looking through the lens. Sometimes it's someone on like a huge like actual like production, editing table. Someone like a sound booth and everything. It's pretty cool. A bunch of different like pictures and stuff. So those are always cool to look at. Okay, so now that everything is loaded, you're presented with this nice little thing. Yours will probably either say Untitled Project, and you may or may not have all these other different, videos in here. These are all the ones I've edited, before. So what you're going to want to do, right, you're going to want to hit Untitled Project, and it'll open up a new project for you. Everything like that. It's super cool, very simple. It'll go away, and then it'll come back with your nice editing screen, okay? Now there's a couple different parts to Davinci Resolve, and kind of any editing software really. So over here, right now we're in the Edit tab, okay? There's a couple different tabs, we'll probably cover that later in the video. But right now we're in the Edit tab, and so here, this is your media pool over here. These are all of your effects. This is your timeline area. Thing up here is your inspector, and then in the middle here is your like live view kind of preview screen. You can toggle these views up here at the top left by hitting Effects Library, and now the entire thing over here on the left side is the media pool. You can toggle the media pool, and now you have just a timeline, just the preview screen, and your inspector. Same thing, you can get rid of your inspector if you want, everything like that. I usually have that. You can also get your mixer over here with all of your audio channels and everything, just by clicking that. And then sound library, I guess you can get sounds and everything. I've actually never used that yet. Edit index, never used that either yet. But mainly I have the effects pool, effects library, and the media pool open. So now we're going to go through and bring in some footage. You can either drag it into your media pool, or you can drag it right onto your timeline. It's up to you. If you're just starting a video and it's like your first clip, you can probably drag it into the timeline. When you get into like other videos and it's like longer, you've already got footage in there, you're like, oh hey, I need to film this thing and bring it in here. That's whenever you'd probably bring it into the media pool as opposed to the direct timeline. Your project will have like a set frame rate. I think it's 24. I think mine's still 24, but I film everything in 30 currently. So it's going to ask you, do you want to change your timeline frame rate in the video format to match up and everything. I always just hit change. I think I should probably change that soon. But now you've got this clip in the timeline. Okay, so now that we have videos loaded in, you can see up here in our media pool, we've got our clip, and then this is our timeline. Down here we have in the timeline our single clip. Now for me, if you hit B, what you can do is you can blade and cut anywhere you want. Right? So now these clips are all individual like that. Right, I have snapping turned off currently, but if you want to have it snap, it'll snap there, or your little cursor red line will snap there. If you hit the A button, you can also look up here, and you get the B for blade, and A for selection. Then you can move it around. That's how I moved it around a couple seconds ago. Over here you can choose the audio of that. I think that is just for you. It's not for the master, I don't think, is it? I don't think so. And now we have a clip selected. Right, now you can go up here and you can look at the inspector. This is how you can change opacity, you can change audio levels, you can change, position of something, you can change the zoom, you can do basically anything you want. You can rotate it, you want to be fancy with it. You can do all sorts of things, but this is where you will do all of your little video editing and stuff like that, your like small minute tricks and everything. And same thing with the audio, your volume, all that stuff over here. The cut, I actually don't really ever use the cut tab. I've never used it. I just do everything in the edit tab. media. If you like want to open up stuff, you can always just move it over here without having to open up another window and drag it in. I think you can just import all into here and everything like that. So this is all for importing footage and stuff like that. I've never used this, so I don't know what that's for. Fusion, this is for like fancy stuff, I think. For like, I saw some guy do like motion tracking with this, and he did like other stuff and stuff like that. I did a thing where I like cut and then I like Gaussian blurred, or like feathered it away with a mask in here. It's pretty interesting. So we'll get to that later. Color. This is for all your color grading. There's a video coming out later where we, make a video monochrome. We actually use this footage because I actually just filmed it. And so we go through, make it monochrome and everything like that. And you can go through, you can change a bunch of different stuff. You can change the colors, you can go through and stuff like that. But we'll probably cover this later. Fairlight, I think it's got an audio symbol. I assume it's for audio. I've never used it, so I don't really know what it's for yet. But as I learn it, I can share it with you guys and all that stuff like that. It'll be pretty cool. And then deliver, this is how you export. So you can go up here, you can make it YouTube ready, you can make it H.264 master, you can do a custom thing, you can do all sorts of stuff and everything. And then you can add to the render queue, and then, right, and so now you gotta add to the render queue, and you can hit start render and everything like that. But we aren't there yet. We'll get to that eventually. But this is probably where you'll do most of your editing and like most of your time in Resolve. It's probably in the edit tab. Make sure your edits line up and everything. You wanna delete that. One fancy thing is if you hit that, you saw everything moved over. You hit the delete key. Hit the backspace key. It leaves everything the same. Hit the like delete key, and it like a ripple cut, kind of moves everything over and just fills that void and everything. So that one's pretty cool. But then you can scroll through all of these different effects over here. There's like Gaussian blurs and all that stuff. There's effects, there's titles, there's audio transitions, video transitions, all kind of stuff like that. But this is kind of just an intro video, kind of get you guys familiar with everything. That way if you're just opening up Davinci Resolve and you're like, I have no idea where to start, this will hopefully at least kind of get you familiar with everything, and you can kind of go, okay, now that I kind of know some of the very, very basics of everything, you kind of just, the hardest part is just kind of knowing where you're going and everything. So this should hopefully be able to help you a little bit. And of course, as we go down the road, we can, start getting to more in-depth things and all that stuff. And then you can learn to edit like a master along with me, and we can both learn and all that stuff, and we can both grow and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in this series, make sure to hit the like button, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time for the next tutorial. Bye everyone.